often get asked by potential flight students, what's the best course of action to go about earning their private pilot's license or private pilot certificate? My first recommendation to them is to go out and do an introductory discovery flight to see if they're comfortable in the aircraft, particularly a small general aviation aircraft, and also see if they're comfortable with their potential flight instructor that they're flying with for the long term, to make sure that you have the right personalities and that that flight instructor can support your schedules for when you can actually do flight training. My second recommendation is to go get your flight medical as soon as you can before you actually do any flight training. And the reason for this is you need a flight medical in order to have a private pilot's license. You need either class 1, 2, or 3. Class 3 is all you need for a private pilot's license. Class 2 is for commercial pilot flying, and class 1 would be for airline transport pilot if you're flying, let's say, for a major airliner. But for private pilot, all you need is your class 3 medical. And so you want to get this out of the way real quick just to make sure there's no reasons why you can't get your private pilot's license. You don't want to spend thousands of dollars in flight training and then find out you can't. So a lot of money will be saved by getting this medical out of the way as quick as you can. My third recommendation is to go take either an in-person or an online private pilot ground school course. This course will help prepare you for the FAA's knowledge test that you're required to pass for your private pilot's license. And my recommendation is to actually go forward and actually take that FAA private pilot knowledge exam after you complete the ground school and before you actually start your flight training. That's the perfect world from an instructor and really a perfect world from the student perspective in being cost effective. And cost effective for a couple reasons. The more you can learn this information that's required for private pilot's license on the ground, the more money you'll save because you won't be learning it in the air or with that engine running with an instructor on board, or having to learn it individually on the ground with an in-flight instructor giving you one-on-one ground school training. But secondarily, the other major advantage from a cost perspective of taking this online ground school course is a chance for you to assess, is this something you really want to pursue? Potential flight students don't fully understand how much groundwork is required, how much knowledge is required. And by taking this ground school course, you can assess, is this something I really want to commit to, the time and effort and money to do that? And overall speaking, it's very, very inexpensive to go get that ground school course done and that FAA knowledge test compared to be sitting in an airplane flying and learning all this stuff. Or spending thousands of dollars and then start to take the ground school course and go, oh, this isn't for me, I don't want to learn all this stuff, and then wasted thousands of dollars of flying. So that's my recommendation on getting that ground school course done right away. The reality of the time, most students don't do it that way. They start flight training and then they eventually take a ground school course, and in the end, it costs them more money in doing so. And in some cases, it's a complete loss because then they find out they really don't want to do the studying and they're just never going to be prepared to actually pass a practical exam with a FAA designated pilot examiner. So those are my 3 recommendations and path to prepare for before you actually start your flight training. Now, as soon as you've got all of that, those initial things done, go out and start doing your flight training. When you get in the cockpit now with the instructor, you're going to know what you're going to be going over, advance, partially before the briefing before the flight, but also based on your new knowledge that you've got from taking that online ground school course or in-person ground school course. And you'll have comfort in knowing that you've already got your medical out of the way. And the real big advantage of this is it's going to enable you to get your license much quicker in terms of the number of hours required for having you get signed off by your instructor to go take your practical exam with a FAA designated pilot examiner. Anyways, hope this information was helpful. And if it is, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel so you get notified on my next video.